got the juice.
Sports Uncensored 365. I am your host, Landshark Clark. Let's talk a little boxing. So Frank Martin, he had his fight this weekend with Artem Harutyunyan, which turned out to actually be a really good fight. A lot of people try to say Frank Martin got exposed. He's overrated. All this other stuff. But I've noticed a lot of them was slick talking Frank Martin was also, the same thing gonna happen to Earl. So it was like they talking shit about Frank Martin fight because they're Bud Crawford fans. And they want to see anything that has anything to do with Errol Spence do bad, right? Like you had Keyshawn Martin talking crazy when Harutyunyan is ranked above Keyshawn Martin in damn near every, Keyshawn Davis. He's ranked above him in damn near all of the sanctioning bodies have Harutyunyan above Keyshawn Davis. So why he opening up his mouth like he done actually did anything? But one thing I've noticed is boxing fans like to be biased, and that's both sides, right? Now, I'll let you know, I have my biases when it comes to sports, right? Now, boxing is one of those sports, boxing, MMA, combat sports, where I have the least bias. Also, NBA, because mainly, Kansas City doesn't have a sports team. I'm from Kansas City. I represent Kansas City to the fullest. So I support the Chiefs. I support the Royals. I support Sporting KC. Anything Kansas City, I'm on it. I'm going to have a bias to it. The Kansas Jayhawks, I have a bias to that. So when I speak about them in the future, if you watch one of my videos, just know I'm going to be super biased when it comes to those subjects. But a lot of y'all can't admit y'all biases. So Frank Martin has a close fight with ranked in multiple sanctioning bodies. He's ranked multiple sanctioning bodies, and he's undefeated, right? Ranked and undefeated. Now, y'all will use those as a good thing when it comes to a fighter that you follow, but then you'll use those things. Ain't nobody know who he was. He was a bum. Nobody knew who he was a bum. But then if you bring up a lot of y'all's favorite fighter, Terrence Crawford, you bring up his resume and him fighting people that they don't know, and people will be like, well, he might have been unknown, but he was undefeated. He was a tough opponent just because y'all didn't know him. Well, Harutyunyan could have been a tough opponent, but just because y'all didn't know him doesn't mean that he's a nobody or a bum. Y'all just didn't know him. So why the bias? Why can't Frank Martin get props for fighting a undefeated and ranked fighter, right? I mean, in that fight, Frank Martin, when he was trying to box with him, Harutyunyan showed me that he's actually a really good fighter, and I'd like to see him fight again. He has a really good boxing ability. Frank Martin couldn't outbox him, couldn't really figure him out when it came to that, but once Frank Martin stopped trying to fight off his back foot and start putting that pressure on him. Oh man, when he started putting that pressure on him, fight was over with. Harutyunyan didn't have an answer for that pressure. But again, those are the type of fights you need. Meanwhile, you got Keyshawn Davis getting spoon-fed over there at Top Rank and ain't never gonna fight nobody until he got 40 wins under his belt, But eventually them two are going to have to cross paths. Hopefully it don't become another Crawford Spence situation where they let the size of the street get in the way, which that's the thing. I don't like it. I don't like the politics of boxing, but it is what it is. Top Rank is going to hold the WBO belt, and they're going to keep a bunch of in-house fights there. Whenever there's a WBO belt and it's vacated, you better believe Top Rank is going to have first dibs, right? If you look at all the WBO champions, I bet 80% of them is Top Rank fighters. It is what it is. That's the politics in boxing. If you look at the WBC champions, a lot of them are going to be PBC fighters. It is what it is. That's boxing today. That's what we have to work with. But hopefully, in the next 2 years, we can get Frank Martin, Keyshawn Davis, and Frank Martin can put the paws on Keyshawn, and he can shut the fuck up and go back in whatever hole he crawled out of. Now, I like Keyshawn Davis. Don't get me wrong. I like him. But he's doing a lot of yapping and not enough fighting. But that's all I got to say about this one. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please give the video a like. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so at this time. I really do appreciate it. Thank y'all for watching.